Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. I'm on 10. Hello, I'm M&T. I got the recipe. I got the flow. I got the remedy. I know they do. I know they envy me. Feet on the floor. What they gonna say now? We came along from last place. Bottom to top of the fast pace. Out of this surf, I get touchdown. I take a loss, get it back.
What's going on, fam? You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole. Welcome to our Baltimore Ravens recap show. Joining me is Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks. Carita is also the founder of Double Take Sports. What's going on, Carita?
Man, recovering those night games. Woo.
I know that. I know it's rough. I know the night games rough. I know they are.
3 hours in the morning.
I don't envy you. I feel like that is like you living the life. That is something. Yeah. God bless you. God bless you. Like as a reporter, and to know that like we're gonna talk. We're gonna obviously play your rundown, but like to do that too. Late night. That's like. The game ends at 11:30. You got to do pressers and things like that. So are you doing it like around 12:30, like 12:15-ish?
It was definitely after 12 last. Well, yeah. I know I was on the field after 12 last night. Yeah, and I think I went back up into the press box around 1. Yeah. Oh
yeah, this is for you. Paul said this for you because he know. I think they know.
Yes,
they know.
I have that going with me right now.
Yeah, they know. They know the streets now. They know. Oh man,
you.
All right, hey, on Monday. Speaking of it, like Monday night on Monday Night Football, the Ravens fell to the Detroit Lions 38-30. But before we dive into this game and give you all the breakdown and what we have to say about it, we got to knock out some logistics. Hey, check out our website, which is theurbansportscene.com. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channels. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the shows. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. You can also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, before we dive into this game right now live, let's play Carita's rundown of what happened last night with the Ravens and the Detroit Lions.
This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. The Baltimore Ravens dropped a pivotal Monday night football game to the Detroit Lions with a 38-30 loss. This was a game that the Ravens needed to win, and although they bounced back against the Browns, they faced a tough Kansas City team this weekend. The Ravens never really seemed to be clicking on offense and defense. Offensively, they went into halftime only down by 3 points, but the Lions were able to come out after halftime and slowly pull away. It was a Derrick Henry fumble. This is his 3rd fumble in the first 3 games of the season that turned the tide of this game. It set up a field goal for the Lions and pretty much put them on the path to victory. Here's what Henry had to say after the game.
It's just crazy, man. 3 fumbles straight. Trying every day to fix a problem, just keeps occurring. So I'm trying to work on it, man. I'm my worst critic, so I'm not gonna try to get myself up too much, but it's hard not to, and it's consecutive and consistent and doing the same thing.
On the defensive side of the ball, the Ravens were unable to stop the run, and they were not successful against the pass either, but the run game really got the best of them. They were missing Nnamdi Madubuike and Kyle Van Noy, 2 of their best pass rushers. And although it's next man up, it was a tall task stopping that Lions offense. After the game, I spoke to Marlon Humphrey and asked him what this defense needs to do to find consistency.
I think it'll take to find some consistency on defense.
I think turnovers. I just don't. That's kind of what we preach all offseason. It's what we preach really every week, every day. So it's pretty simple, I think. You're just not going to win many games if you lose a turnover battle.
To echo Marlon Humphrey, there were no turnovers, and there also was no pressure on Jared Goff, and that allowed the Lions offense to be successful. As I mentioned earlier, the Ravens have a short week. They see Kansas City this weekend, and linebacker Teddy Buchanan basically said this is another game that they have to flush.
In a short week, what steps do you think you could take to have an improved performance going against Kansas City?
Yeah, we're going to watch the tape and learn from it. And, we play in 6 days, so it's right on to Kansas City. We'll flush it. And like Coach said, we're going to play our best football on Sunday.
This is Carita Parks with Bowie TV. That has been your Ravens Rundown. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Bowie TV Sports. You can also find us on Comcast in Prince George's County.
Awesome work as always. Awesome. So you pretty much like talked about it, but I do want to get through all that you mentioned a lot about what went wrong on Monday night, but what was your biggest takeaway from the 38-30 loss?
What was my biggest takeaway?
Your biggest takeaway.
Man, they have a lot of work to do to turn it around. That's what it's looking like right now. I could be completely and utterly wrong, but I mean, at this moment right now, it's looking like inconsistent performances. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're playing these playoff teams up front. And I mean, unfortunately, right now, when you think about it, the playoff level teams they have lost to so far.
Yeah.
Bills, now the Lions. We'll see what happens in Kansas City. They beat the Browns, and like we've already said, Browns defense is great, but they are not one of those playoff caliber teams at this moment, and that's the only team you've beaten so far.
Yeah, true. Paul has a question for you, Carita. He says, Carita, were you surprised the Ravens got bullied?
I was. I mean, I definitely think on the pregame show, I said I expected it to be a battle.
Yeah, you did.
But not. It's almost like the Lions flipped the script, right?
Yeah.
The Ravens have been the bullies, and last night it was the Lions, and they were the bullies on both sides of the ball. Like I was surprised at how uncomfortable they were making Lamar.
Yeah, that's true. They got pressure on Lamar. And 7 sacks on Lamar last night, which was wild. Some of like Lamar was holding the ball at sometimes, but some points to your point, they were getting real pressure on Lamar. Like they funneled him. They had a great game plan to try to, it was a team effort to sack Lamar, right? Like
they knocked him off his game because like you mentioned, there were moments he was holding the ball way too long. And that's so uncharacteristic because typically he'll escape or scramble or whatever the case may be. And it was a lot going on.
It was. It definitely was. Speaking of that, like I mentioned, Lamar was sacked 7 times, while the Ravens failed to record a single sack on Jared Goff. How concerning was that disparity?
Extremely concerning because we're not talking about like 2 sacks, 7 sacks. And I did not know the statistic of it, but just in my 3 seasons covering the Ravens, I knew that I had not seen Lamar get sacked that much. And then after the fact, I saw that he hasn't been sacked that many times since 2021.
Crazy. That's wild.
I mean, right. That's what I'm saying. So I think that is a testament to how difficult it was for him. I should say how difficult the Lions made it for him last night, because you got to give them credit. Like you said, they had an excellent game plan and they executed their game plan.
Speaking of what Paul talked about in terms of like, being bullied, because, that's always a test that's always contributed to like the run game, right? What's happening in the run game. The Ravens gave up 224 rushing yards, including a a back-breaking 72-yard run, and a late 31-yard touchdown by David Montgomery. What went wrong defensively against the run for the Ravens? Like, did anybody in the locker room talk about why that was occurring?
It was more so like there's no excuses. I mean, they said that it was a focus, and when I say they, I mean the players that we talked to last night. That it was a focus to stop the run, and all they could say is we just weren't able to do that last night. Now, Nnamdi Madubuike, he's hurt, and then also Kyle Van Noy. And while Kyle Van Noy is like a good pass rusher as well as Madubuike, having them up front on that line is very clear, especially with the absence of Nnamdi Madubuike. That the Lions at least were able to take advantage of that, because a lot of those runs, from what I remember, were straight up the middle.
They were,
and that's usually where Madubuike is. Not all of them, but quite a few. They didn't have to do as much running on the outside unless they wanted to, have the running back coming out the backfield. But yeah, it was a tough loss. But that was also that's what stood out the most about that loss is the run defense. And Kyle Hamilton, he did say afterwards, he talked about, you never want a team to be able to get their run game going like that. Because he said it becomes demoralizing when a team just keeps running the ball down your throat, basically.
No, I totally agree. That's the thing you don't want as a defense. Lions guards are legit and strong. Yeah, definitely. You saw that last night. But so it goes to the question, right? I mean, this is 2 out of 3 games. This defense has not looked good. And to your point, those 2 games are against two playoff caliber, well, even like just playoff caliber championship contending teams, right? That's like
every single one. I mean, the Bills were in the AFC Championship game last year. The Lions were in the NFC Championship game last year. So, like you said, not just playoff caliber, but championship caliber teams. And they see another one this weekend.
Yeah, so like they are gonna have to get on
a
it.
Short week, by the way.
On a short week, definitely on a short week. I want to stand on the defense. And we already talked about the pass rush not getting there, and obviously the injuries kind of with Madubuike and whatnot, not having and Van Noy not having them, and how that impacted the pass rush. But the defense, like I mentioned, 2 out of 3 games against good teams, this defense hasn't shown up. I mentioned his name pretty much almost every week, but yeah, Zach Orr, defensive coordinator. Is it time? Do you think after this showing last night, Monday Night Football, the whole world sees it, got a chance to see it, does it put him on a hot seat? Or is it too early? Oh, you think it is now? Okay.
I mean, hot seat as in, because that can mean a lot of things. So
hot seat in terms of like the clock is ticking now, like it's ticking.
I think what's hard is I don't know that the Ravens could make a drastic change. Who do you go to at this point when it comes to that? But something has to be done, because there is clearly something that maybe I don't know what it is. I can't speak for what is going on from a coaching perspective, but something is not clicking. I mean, maybe it is too much at this point. But something has to change. I mean, they have to do something drastic, whatever that may be. I don't know if that's doing what they did last year and bringing someone else in.
Yeah. Which helped out, right?
Case may be. Say that again.
Which helped out, though, right? That did help out last year. It seemed like they turned up when they made that, brought in. Who they bring in?
DPs, and
yeah.
And to be fair, the pass rush coach Chuck Smith, he said that turnaround was Zach Orr.
Okay.
Maybe, and he stood on. He said he had been waiting 6 months to say that, because he saw the headlines and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's fair. That's fair, because I can't remember what prompted him to go on that.
On that tangent.
Right. But perhaps Zach having someone that he trusts and that's like in a mentor role just to bounce ideas off of. And I'm not saying he doesn't have that now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe that will help.
Yeah.
But for me, there's just too much talent on that defense, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of it is not executing correctly. It's not always on the coach.
Agreed.
But I feel like this defense is capable, but something is missing right now.
Yeah, so I mean, you cover the team, but I know from a distance, I like Zach Orr. I mean,
I do
personally, to be honest
too.
with
I
you.
really do. I
Yeah,
don't,
so I know you do. I know you do. I'm like personally, I know you do. Believe me, I know you do. Because I know I've seen the stuff and I've seen the nice things you said about him. So I definitely know you like him. From a distance, I like him. I like his character. I like what he represents. So I am rooting for him. So I want people to know I'm rooting for him. But I do think that the NFL is a results league, right? That's what it is. And I agree with you. I've said this team has a boatload of talent on that side of football. You got arguably one of the best safeties in football. You got arguably one of the best middle linebackers in football, Roquan Smith. You have good corners. Like you have good corners. You don't have bad. Like you have Wiggins, who's a young top promising cornerback. I mean, you got guys. Marlon Humphreys is one of the better slot corners, nickel corners in the game. He can play outside and nickel. So you have guys who are very good at their positions. For the defense to be this off, some people are going to look at it and say, you know what, you got a lot of talent. It should be better. That's just going to, and to your point, that's why I do I recognize what Marlon Humphrey says, like more than like the Kyle Hamilton says, like people got to just do their own jobs and not worry about trying to be special. I do agree with that. Like I do agree with. I think that is a thing. When your defense is pressing, I do believe. Like I don't think he's being harsh. When he said the first time, I just thought it was funny that those two had different. They said the same thing with different
personalities.
Yeah, but I agreed more with Marlon because I do think
reflects in how they.
I do agree more with Marlon Humphreys because I do think that when your defense is pressing, everybody wants to make the special play, like to kind of they want to make the play. If you just do your job, your defense and work as a unit, your defense is more and more capable of doing the right thing. You know what I mean, as a whole in terms of results. So I get what he was saying. And I think maybe that's happening. I don't know because again, to your point, I feel like this defense is too talented to have this issue.
Right. And, to Marlon's credit, people say a lot about Marlon, but he is one of those guys on the defense that's the leader and he don't sugarcoat things.
Yeah, I can tell.
I know that is what people want sometimes. But not only that, I will also say he places blame on himself as well as calling other things out. So it's not like I'm playing great and everybody needs to do their job. It's like I gave up this play, I gave up that can't happen. Like he takes accountability for his mistakes, but he also he said it before, he's been a part of the defenses with the Ravens that played at a higher standard.
Yeah.
So this right now, and he said it last night, he was like, it's not the standard. And then when he was asked to assess the defense, first he couldn't find the words. And then when he did find the words, he said, we're just not very good.
And you know what he does, to his credit, like, and this is one thing I'll say, like Marlon Humphreys comes from he comes from very structured, good defenses, like even from college, like in Alabama. So that's all he knows. Like all he knows is a certain way of playing defense. So I feel like if anybody can recognize that a defense isn't playing the way he thinks it should be playing, and he is the one. Like he's the one because he's used to structure. That's what he is. Marlon Humphreys understands structured defense. He played with Nick Saban in Alabama. He got here, the Ravens, they had the way of playing defense, and it was playing at a high level, structured defense. So I feel like he knows how it looks like, it's supposed to look like, and how it's supposed to be communicated. You know what I mean? So Darnell, what's going on? Darnell said defensively, the Ravens are lacking elite pass rushing period. And so I agree they are at this point. But how is Mike Green looking though? Is he getting more playing time? Is he not getting playing time? You would know, man.
He is getting more playing time. And I mean, he hasn't looked bad, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to replace
those individuals
who they were missing. Now, I think he's a rookie, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the way he's playing, I feel like it's a matter of time before it clicks for him and he starts getting those sacks. But he does get close to the quarterback and make them uncomfortable. But you know, he's still a rookie, so there's some of the nuances. And he's probably still learning. But he told me, I asked him, I was like, you know, is that sack coming soon? And he said that it's a work in progress, but he feels like it's coming soon. So, and I think once he gets the sack, he's probably going to be like unleashed. But he was supposed to work in tandem with the pass rushers they have, you know?
No, I definitely, he definitely was. But I do think that, I mean, eventually I feel like hopefully this team gets the sparkle like they did last year and they can just turn it around. Because we both agree that like they have too much talent to be playing like this poorly. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and Zach Orr was a part of the turnaround last year. So they just have to figure it out. And I mean, the defense, a lot of the defensive players, but especially the secondary, they are not the first ones off the practice field. Like, you know, I still see them out there and, you know, they're bonding and all of those things. So it feels like they're doing what they can, but it's to show up in games.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. It's time. You're right. It's a fact. It's time to show up.
You know, keeping it real, I'm like, all right, at this point, unless it will be a setback to his health, might as well put Jair in the game.
Man, there you go.
He can make it worse. Maybe
there you go.
Maybe it won't be better, but it might be the same. But at least he's getting some time back out there to ramp up.
Yeah, I'll say this much: you can't blame him now.
Oh no, nope.
Can't blame him. I think it was easy to blame him against Buffalo. Can't blame him now.
That's true. So we'll see what happens.
You signed him for a reason.
Shoot, he's gotten rest. He might be one of the more well-rested on this weekend if we keep it real.
Yeah, and you like
week.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, so let's go to Derrick Henry. I you can hear it in the rundown. He said he had to shake it off, but you can tell he sounded dejected. He was not.
Oh, he sounded very
dejected. He sounded dejected. Like he was saying the right things, but the voice and the tone wasn't like what he was trying to say. I get it. His fumble in the fourth quarter was a game changer. How concerned should Raven fans be on his ball security with 3 fumbles in as many games? Like and also to a point where I'll add this caveat to it. Like should his role in close games change? Like in the fourth quarter, like should they think about going a different route? Because my man Darnell had a comment about it actually. It's right here actually. He said Keaton Mitchell will be activated next Sunday, guarantee it, and he will be used in a bit to offset some of Derrick Henry's issues. So do you feel like a person like Mitchell can be utilized more if he is activated? Could he be used in the fourth quarter with Hill to kind of help out Derrick Henry while he's going through these issues in the fourth quarter?
I mean, yes, but then I also feel like if they do that, you're not showing faith in him anymore, right?
I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I don't.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Coach Harbaugh is sometimes, like, he will stand by his players until it gets drastic.
Yeah.
And I do think, I mean, Derrick Henry is a Hall of Fame player. It's a concern because it's 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
The game against the Browns, he fumbled, but Tyler Wallace recovered that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But the Bills in the game last night, like you said, those were pivotal. Like,
fourth quarter,
game-changing fumbles. Yeah. And that is extremely concerning. Now, what I will say is if it continues, do I think they might ease back a little bit? yes, on the fourth quarter, like how much work he gets maybe in the fourth quarter. But I just don't think with a player like that, they would let these issues change how they use him because he has come through for them in so many other instances.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to fix that. And I mean, maybe that's team strategy now is like, hey, like we can get the ball out his hands or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but it's definitely gotta be fixed. Like it cannot continue.
Paul said ball security is a key. He can't be on the field if it happens versus Kansas City. If it happens again against Kansas City, that'd be wild. I will say that'd be wild. I'll say this, like for Derrick Henry, like before this season, he barely fumbled. Like he wasn't a fumbler.
I mean, in his whole career, did he
it's like maybe like it's a wild number. Like he barely fumbles. So it's now mental. Like I know that it's mental, but I'll say this. We're talking about Derrick Henry. We're not talking about a bum. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like he has to be on the field. Let me just be bluntly honest. It's like, look, I grew up watching Barry Sanders. I love Barry Sanders. One of my favorites. My favorite, arguably one of my favorite players ever. If Barry Sanders had a fumbling issue, and I would still say he needs to be on the field because the reward for his play. The reward outlast the risk. Like the reward is so thorough. Like what you're going to get out of Derrick Henry is way more than the risk. It's way more than the risk.
It would just legit be wrong at this point.
Yeah.
To move away from Derrick Henry because there's so many other scenarios where he has been the one to bail them out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, like the fumble in Buffalo was terrible, right? It was terrible. Don't get it wrong. But again, you score 40. Like, no, we're not going to do this. I'm not going to do that to Derrick Henry. That I won't do. Like, I'm not going to do that to King Henry. I get like situational football. Yeah, you can't fumble at that time. But to your point, you don't have that lead. You wouldn't have that lead if it wasn't for him.
But
in that Buffalo game. That
is true. And the fumble, honestly, it was just a good play. Like the guy, he came from behind.
Yeah.
It was just a good play. I mean,
it was a good play, but yeah, I get like you're supposed to be uber cautious with the football, right? Like that's like the thing. Like it was a good play. You're right. Some fumbles are just some fumbles created are like good play by the defense. I agree,
but it don't help his case.
You don't help your case though. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's gonna recognize the defensive player for creating a good play on the football.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? So it's just that's like I agree with you. Like some plays. Like when somebody punches the ball out, I'm like, that's a good play. But I understand, I know, like no one's gonna side with the defensive player. They're gonna be like a great play defensive player. Like, nah, it'll be like the running back, yo, chill. Like hold the ball tight. You know what I mean? So I get it, I understand, but I do think that but to the point where I'm not gonna be like Derrick Henry shouldn't be on the field. Like we're talking about Derrick Henry. That's if Saquon
like Lamar's fumbling,
so he should be on the football field. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Or like
you're not
his position. Not. Like if Saquon Barkley started fumbling, I am keeping you on the field. You do not have to worry. Like now, granted, on him because he's like his biggest critic. I just hope it doesn't because I know he's going to be uberly cautious with the football now. The only concern I would say is that it takes away from his aggression.
And playing really
that's the only thing I would say. Because I think from now on, I don't think he's going to fumble against Kansas City. Truth be told, I think he's going to be overly concerned with it, to a point where I'm feeling like he may be tiptoeing on plays and whatnot. So I think that he's more inclined to be more cautious with the football, which may go away, which may hinder his aggression running the football, which is my concern.
I will say, gosh, the gentleman who was talking about Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, Darnell.
I feel like so far, and things can change, Coach Harbaugh's been pretty consistent about Rasheen Ali.
Oh, okay.
Because of his special teams ability.
Okay.
And so, because he's on like kickoff returns, punt returns, and he can play the running back position. So I think at the moment they just see him as being able to bring more to the table.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that they would. I mean, right now it's not looking like they plan on activating Keaton Mitchell anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's. I mean, they got a bunch of backs. Like that's a bunch of running backs. You got like you play special. I think that's one of the most important things, playing special teams. That's very.
I know. I was like, I don't have a son, but if I did, and he played football, I was like, I would be like, look, learn that special teams because that learn those special positions because that can really be the difference maker in making a team or a spot on the roster
and playing on and being active for real. It does, because if you're a back who can play teams, and especially on the depth chart, that's going to keep you on. That's going to keep you on the football field. No, it's definitely an important thing that people don't talk about. But yeah, but I would like to see Keaton Mitchell out there because he played well in preseason. And he could. I mean, I think he'll get his time during the season. When, that's a whole different question. But I think he'll get his time. But I do like that about Alexander. I think it's time. I'm
thinking it's time because at this point, it's like I said earlier, I don't feel like he can hurt the defense any more than they've been hurting themselves at this point. So might as well just let him get back out there and get the reps in, and you never know.
Yeah, but I do agree. I feel like, you got him for a reason. You got him here for a reason. It wasn't to be inactive. And we're talking about a guy who made the Pro Bowl in the past. And I feel like, all right, it's about time.
And like I said, unless it's going to be a health setback, you're going to need his help. And I say this seriously now, but for real, they have a short week. So he's the freshest. He will be one of the freshest.
Good point.
Of them all. So might as well give him some plays.
I like that thought process. Mastro said, confident the defense will buck up and get it together and get better. Excuse me, and get better. Hopefully,
right.
I like how
I said. I gotta see it. I gotta see it consistently.
He also said, the Lions are a good team. They beat us. Yeah.
They did. Yeah. They definitely beat the Ravens, and this is one of those situations, where. This was not the Ravens beating themselves.
No, this wasn't that. This wasn't that.
This time they got beat.
They got beat. Even before the Derrick Henry. The Derrick Henry fumble was crippling, but they were getting beat. Like they were getting beat at that time.
That just did not help the cause because they needed to. I mean, that allowed. When I take that back though, because I will say this is a situation where the defense held them to a field goal.
Yeah, it did.
So it could have been worse. They did not allow the Lions to
get a touchdown.
Or 7 off of that. But then the offense wasn't able to score.
Here you go. This is Big Magic said, I think we missed Bouquet big time. Like Carita said. You said this earlier. She did say that.
I said that earlier, but I think this also shows why the Ravens paid Nnamdi Madubuike all the money that they paid him. He hasn't missed too many games. That I can remember. So everything comes together.
I like this.
I was concerned about him missing this game before it happened.
I like this comment. I like this comment. He says, can we talk about how Lamar was spinning it last night? It's truly inspiring to see how amazing of a passer he is, especially when people were asking him to try out for wide receiver. I know, I agree. Like his improvement, I'm going to say this, like I watched Lamar in Louisville, and I was kind of like mad that he came out early. I thought he needed an extra year to kind of become a better passer. I never thought he should play wide receiver in the NFL. That was never a thing for me. But I thought that one more year throwing the football in college would make him better. And then his first year in the NFL, I was like, okay, well, he wasn't, as dynamic as a passer as like even his last year at Louisville was, right? But, I was like, all right, but he's still such a dynamic weapon. And he can still, he's going to I felt like he'll grow into the quarterback position. And then for him to go from where he was at his first 2 years is throwing the football to where he is now, man, it's amazing. Like that's where now he is a pocket passing quarterback who can just run. Like the running is secondary, and his run when he runs that football is dynamic, but it's secondary, right? So praise to him, man. He he is what hard work represents. For real talk. He is what hard work represents.
And having the right people, because the NFL is a game of development, no matter how good you are, and they got the right people around him to develop him further as a quarterback. And I know we talked about the Derrick Henry fumble, but I do want to say this. I felt like last night, though, the Ravens used like every weapon they had on offense, I think.
Yeah.
Granted, everybody was involved at different levels.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mark Andrews, Charlie Kohler, Rashad.
Yeah.
Zay got some work, not as much as usual, but he got some work. Justice Hill. Yeah. I mean, everybody was being used last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this one, and then after that, I do want to talk about that because there are some positives about what happened last night. Darnell said, don't matter who is back there in the secondary. If we don't apply pressure on the opposing quarterback, that's where it all begins. I agree. Like, the pressure wasn't there.
No, the pressure wasn't there at all. I mean, I don't disagree. Yeah. Jared Goff was not.
Yeah, and that's why if you don't get Jared Goff uncomfortable, he can be an amazing quarterback throwing the football.
Any quarterback. Well, I mean,
not Anthony Richardson, but you know what I mean. There's some quarterbacks you give all the time in the world, they can't throw.
He probably ain't getting his job back though.
Who? Anthony Richardson ain't getting that job like anytime. He's done. Yeah, he ain't done. Like, that man is done. Like, you losing out to Daniel Jones. Your career is over as a starting quarterback. For a while, I don't want to, for a while. I'm not going to say he can't get a job, but for a while, this is what I want to see. All right, so I'm going to talk about this. So this is going to be my next topic. He said, "Was great to see Mark Andrews get active as well. People forget that's Lamar's OG pass catcher, and they ball together. We love Mark Andrews." All right, that was what I want to talk about. Like, Mark Andrews, there are obviously negatives out here, but Mark Andrews looked like a man possessed last night. He did. And shout out to him, man, to get a touchdown. He was doing the thing, right?
That touchdown catch was not easy.
It wasn't.
By the way.
It wasn't. So can you just talk about, because I want to talk about some positive, be Mark Andrews and another individual that we talked about earlier. So let's talk about Mark Andrews first. Can you just talk about just that game? We were waiting for this game from him, though. We were waiting for this game from him. Can you talk about that? His game.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Monken did talk about getting the tight ends just more involved in general in the offense. And we saw that last night. Really, this was more for a while. I have to go look back at the stats, but for a while, this was more of like the tight ends with the pass catching. Yeah. They were not relying on the receivers as much. I'm right, because Mark Andrews had 91 yards receiving.
Oh yeah, last night. Yeah, he killed and a touchdown, right?
Yeah, and a touchdown. But anyway, I say all that to say that it was heavy on the tight ends, which is great. But Mark Andrews game was coming at some point.
Yeah,
I mean, this happened last year. It wasn't the first 2 games. I don't even think it was the first 3 games.
Yeah,
but once he got going, I mean, he was going for the rest of the season, and he does have a chip on his shoulder. He hasn't particularly said that, but you can tell when he talks and he's done interviews about what happened last year in Buffalo that has put a different level.
I'm sorry, 2 touchdowns. I apologize, Darnell. 2 touchdowns.
I remember. Okay, I just remember one for some reason.
He the one. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
sometimes,
2 touchdowns. No, I was off. Not you. I was off. 2 touchdowns. All right. Yeah. All right. I see. I'm looking at the stats right now. You're right. 2 touchdowns. All right. Yeah. He 2. My bad, buddy. You got it. 91 yards, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Carita. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that the whole Buffalo thing, you could tell a fire under him.
Yeah, and they say and you just listening to the broadcast, and you've been there, so you know. They said, it may have not shown in the catches or getting touchdowns, whatever, in the beginning of the season, but they said he looked so motivated coming to the season because his run blocking his blocking has been amazing.
Yeah, his blocking. He's been, and he said that to one of the other reporters that asked him about, did he feel like he was getting off to a slow start? This is before this game. And he was like, he felt like he was contributing in other ways. And he said, I feel like my blocking's been really good and it's been a factor in the games.
Yeah, and it was. They showed it even on, I think, was the Derrick Henry run? He had like a nice block, I think. So he's definitely been, he was good. All right, I'm gonna go to now my other guy. I'm happy for first of all, let me say this, I'm happy for Mark Andrews. Like I felt bad for him because the kind of player he's been throughout his career, and just to end the season on that route. I hope for him that he has a fantastic season going forward. I hope this, like to your point, Carita, this continues, this momentum continues with him. All right. We finally got a Rashad Bateman sighting. Like we finally got it. Like we finally got it. Like a touchdown, some yards. Like that's the Bateman I know. Like that was the Bateman I've seen from last year. Like, getting the opportunity. Like I felt like now he got some opportunity to get some passes. Lamar is very judicious with the football, right? And last night was his time. Can you just talk about Bateman when he showcased last night against the Lions?
Well, I mean, let's just be real. Outside of Mark Andrews, and it shows in the stat from a receiving perspective.
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman kept that offense moving.
Yeah.
And he has some really, I think I tweeted this. I said he's caught some critical passes. Like the passes that he was catching last night was moving the chains. It was like getting those first downs and things like that. And then he had his touchdown, of course. But that was a great game for him last night. I mean, you knew it was coming at some point. But like I was mentioning earlier, there's just so many weapons on this offense that everybody's not going to eat every single week. Or one person, I should say, is not going to always eat every single week. But it felt like it was time for him to be more involved.
Okay.
Which I said on the pregame show.
You sure did.
And he seems to have a pretty good track record on primetime lately.
You said that too? You said that too. He had 63 yards receiving, 5 catches, and a touchdown. We answered this question, but I'll let Carita answer your question, Timothy. Is Zach Orr on the hot seat?
So let me be clear. I don't think he's on the hot seat at this moment.
Gotcha.
What I do feel like is if the defense doesn't get it together and quickly, then I do think the microscope will slowly move over into his direction.
Okay.
I don't know this team and I can only speak for the time that I have covered the team.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know them to give up on a coach in the middle of the season or something like that. But I think they will have to do something if this defense can't get it together to, I don't know, add a different dynamic.
No, I'm with you. All right, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this comment. Well, I'm gonna ask you first before I decide if I want to display it. Marlon Humphreys has a podcast.
He does.
All right. Did he say something on his podcast that is?
So
I'm gonna put this out here. I'm gonna put this out here first. He said, thoughts on Marlon's podcast. Embarrassing to hear him talk about AB pizza, jerseys, whatever, after we got belt to you know what.
So, okay, I know about his podcast. It's so far it seems to be like a weekly podcast.
It is, okay.
He did acknowledge
the
loss. He said it was a tough day in the office. He's
Okay.
kind of lost for words. But I feel like when fans are upset, they don't want to hear from the players. Like he could have just did a live and said, and people would still be mad at him. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
Me personally, I don't have a problem with players having podcasts because they're still human. They need an outlet.
Yeah.
You can't expect them to just live. I mean, I know y'all want them to breathe football. You know, they are off on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So that is their off day, and that's when the podcast comes out.
Okay.
So
I didn't know he had a podcast.
When you have a job, so I'm very good at my job.
You're very good at your job. Go for it, child. Go for
When
it.
I need a break,
Yeah.
I do things that make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
He does a podcast. Calvin Noy has a podcast. Nobody's upset with him. And guess what? If Calvin Noy was playing and the Ravens got beat last night, his podcast would still come out. You know, I just think people need to relax, if I'm being honest. If he didn't do his podcast, I don't feel like that's going to change the outcome.
Oh,
you know what I
know.
mean? I just don't think it's going to change the outcome.
It's always about optics. People. I don't really have an issue. I'm always like, but I'm different though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm very different. I'm more extreme. I'm more extreme. Like I'm always like, I don't have an issue with. There are things I don't have an issue with, like what you're talking about having a podcast. Unless you, if you ball, I have no issue. Whatever you do, to be real with you. As long as you ball.
If the team don't have, it don't seem like the team has an issue with it, or he wouldn't.
Yeah, but it's not even. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not even, to me. It's never like a team thing. Like I'll give you an example. Like I'm a like there. Like I grew up. I do a Ravens podcast, but I'm a Commanders fan or whatever. Grew up a Commanders fan. I'm a Commanders fan, right? But so when I used to go out, when I used to be outside all the time as a youngster, I used to see like on Fridays. I used to always see like particular. I'm not a snitch, but particular at the time Redskin players at like nightclubs all the time, and like there used to be a thing back in the day. Like these dudes they're always in a nightclub, blah blah blah. But they balled on Sundays, and I never had an issue. I was like, no, as long as you ball on Sundays, I don't got no issue with you. I don't care how fried you are. You can ball, dude. You can be in the club on Saturday for all I care about. As long as you ball on Sunday, I don't really got an issue with you. So my thing is that if like Marlon Humphreys and which he consistently, he produces for the Ravens. Like if he continues to ball, like the podcast shouldn't be an issue. That's how I look at it.
He had a podcast last season, but
yeah,
he did
it last year. He had it last year too.
It was a different format,
but it's a podcast though.
He still had a podcast last season. Yes,
all right, don't matter. So he had a podcast.
But, when fans are upset. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see anything.
No, I used to be like that. So it's why I used to be like that as a fan. Like I used to be like that. But then I got to a point where I was like, to your point, as you see things, you're like, at the end of the day, and that was perfect example when you said for yourself, it's the same thing for a football player. Like after like you work hard and he's good at your jobs. There's a point where you want to do something for yourself. Like that you enjoy doing, like you enjoy your like. I'm sure Marlon Humphreys enjoys football, but sometimes you need a break from it at times, and to find something else that you enjoy and it kind of can get to you. So I'm all for that. Like,
I mean, he can't wallow in the loss. I think that's also what something fans have to understand is like these players, they take the game seriously. But because they have a game every week, they have to get over losses pretty quick.
No, I get that. Like I would say that though. That is the one thing. I know the optics in terms of if it looks like somebody's giving you the business and you got a pod, it's the optics. I get this part. I get this. Because I know a lot of folks will say that about Paul George. They said about Paul George in his podcast. So I get it.
Podcast is for rape. I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah,
this is podcast. I think he welcomes Ravens fans to listen,
yeah.
But I don't get the impression his podcast is for Ravens fans.
What is this? Yeah, I got you. It's not.
He talks about college football. He talks about all kinds of stuff.
So it's not Raven. It's not a Ravens based podcast. Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, he acknowledged the game because.
I got you.
I mean, it was a bad game, but I thought, is it Maestro?
I'm saying Mastro. Maestro is with like an I, so I'm saying Mastro. I'm calling it Mastro. Okay. I get it though.
I understand what you are saying, but
he said,
I don't feel like the players have to do what fans think is right, if that makes sense. Like he's doing what makes him happy. I don't feel like he's hurting anybody with that. Yeah. Like you said, if he was winning, no one would care. But he's supposed to just stop doing the things that he loves because they're losing.
No, I get it.
Like I said, he's off today. If he had that podcast coming out tomorrow when he's supposed to be at work, That's
Gotta
a
be
whole
different.
different story.
Yeah,
They are
man.
off on Tuesdays. That's what he did on his off day on his own time.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, they get back in the film room and focus on the game. And there's nothing in me that feels like Marlon won't be focused. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, I got you. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. He don't get me wrong. I love Marlon. I would love to see him punch the ball out like he was regularly a couple years ago. I think, yeah. I feel like it's early. This is what I would say to you, Maestro, and I appreciate your comments, bro. We appreciate your
Me
comments.
too. It's
Yeah.
a good. It's a
No,
good.
no. It's good discussion. It's a good discussion. Real
Yeah.
talk. I'll say this, and I've said this about football in general. It's week 3. It is still early. Like, I feel like as fans for any team that you're with, or when people say this player is trash or this, that, and the other, I always say, like, give it time to breathe and simmer. It's week 3. Now we can have this. Let's see what this discussion is in week 6. You know what I'm saying? Or then we can kind of like say, okay, this person is this or that and the other, or he needs to do this or he needs to do that. Like, focus more on this or focus more on that. That's how I assess things. I'm like it's early and we don't know what the reason is for anything, right? It's still early. Same thing I talk about Zach Orr. The problem is Zach Orr, like him being a hot seat. It's early. We don't know in week 3 and week 6 if this defense is totally changed into a point that's a dominant defense or a really good defense. So I just feel like it's still, at the end of the day, it's still relatively early to really think about, this, that, and the other, period, in any element of football right now.
I will add one more thing.
Go for it.
I do appreciate that question though, because it's a different conversation, and I like that. I don't know, Mastro, if you know, but I have a PR background before going into reporting, so I like that. It's a good question. So anyway, what I was gonna say about Marlon's podcast though is I'm not in his business. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know him
But I don't know if, like, for all we know, like he might have sponsors or those kinds of things. It might be another stream of income. Like, these players, that is more of a visible stream of income. But these players have other like streams of income outside of football that you may not see them doing it, but they're doing it today on their off day,
Like, it's like this. I mean, be real. It's like this, and it's no, like, you gotta in the NFL, you gotta brand yourself, because the helmet is covered it's like covers your face. A lot of people don't know you, they don't see you. So when you have an opportunity to brand yourself and put your face out there, that's a big thing. Like, so people can recognize Marlon Humphrey. He's his own brand. The NFL is not going to brand him. He has a brand himself. Like, you see the jersey, the number, but you don't know the face of. If Marlon Humphrey was in the mall, you wouldn't know who he was. Period. Now, like, now he brands himself. Now he's a notable figure. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he's doing it for that, but I'm just saying, like, that is a thing. Like, that's what that platform does for you. It brands. You get to brand yourself. You get to build your own brand. So that's why, like, you see it nowadays. Micah Parsons has his own podcast. It helps brand him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's, I would say we're in a different era in sports, to be real with you, where now folks are in this platform and, like, they're in this space and they do it while they're playing. That's now a thing. It's not nothing. Actually, it's becoming the norm, to be honest with you. I get it. Like, I understand, like, when you're a fan and you're a diehard fan, you really want, like, sometimes you just want folks to eat, sleep, and drink that particular sport. I'm gonna be real. Everybody's not Kobe Bryant. I'm gonna keep it a bean. There's not. Everybody's not Kobe Bryant. No, everybody's not, like, obsessed, like overly obsessed with it to a point where that's all they think. Like, no, everybody's not prime Gilbert Arenas where, like, they sleep in the gym. Like, everybody's not like that. They don't eat, sleep that particular sport. I know it sounds good. Like, and you know this in life. Like, if your job is all you have and all you recognize, that ain't healthy sometimes, bro. That's not a healthy thing. So if you got that outlet, if you think that podcast is your outlet for you, then why not? If it's therapeutic for you, I feel like that's a thing for you. So
yeah, I think sometimes
he's right. Yeah, like, I feel like a hater. I respect it. I respect you, dude. I respect you, man. I respect you, my guy. I respect you. Yeah, much confident. Yeah, I know you should. Like, I can tell you're a diehard fan, bro. I could tell. And that's what's up. I get it. Like I used to be like that, man. I will not lie to you, man. I used to be the same way. I used to get pissed off, like when folks. I used to think folks you needed to be like, quote unquote. It was before it was a thing. Mamba mentality. Like you had to eat, sleep, whatever your sport. Like then as I got older, I was like, nah. Like when you start to work and you know you need an outlet in things, I feel like that's very important. You know what I mean? For any individual, I don't care if you, because I think when people see an athlete, everybody thinks it's easy for them. Everybody sees, oh, they get paid this amount of money. They're regular human beings like us. Like we all need our outlet. We all like, could you imagine thinking about work 24/7? Like when you leave your office, then you're at home, you eat, then you're thinking about work again. And all it is, you're training for work. Yeah. No outlet. That's tough.
And I don't think that's a reflection of how seriously he takes the game or not. I just always put myself in people's shoes. And as much as I love what I do, you do a lot. You're running around a lot. You're talking a lot. It's mental. You're thinking a lot. Yeah. As much as I love what I do, sometimes I just need a weekend to do what I want to do so I can come back refreshed.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, look, our podcast nonstop nowadays.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like, nah, dude, it's a wrap. Like I had to do that this weekend. I was like, nah, bro, you gotta chill. Go out, bro. It's about that time. So sometimes you gotta take care of yourself. So I get it. If for Marlon, like that podcast realm is that, especially if it's a different, like you're talking about different sports. You're not talking about just Ravens stuff. It's more about a little bit
different things in general.
Yeah. So it's pretty much giving you a little bit of himself, right? So he's pretty much giving folks a little bit of himself. Yeah, I think that's definitely like therapeutic for him. It's obviously therapeutic for him.
And he acknowledged the game because I think he knew. Yeah. Like, let me go ahead and acknowledge this.
Oh, of course.
People are aware.
Yeah, of course. You got to though.
I feel about how the game, but yeah, not much more he was able to say than last night.
I know. I appreciate you took this conversation a whole deep realm, man. I appreciate that because I believe in mental health in terms of that, and I think sometimes an outlet like that is good for you for one's mental health. You know what I mean? So yeah, I thank you, man. I appreciate that. That was like you got me on a deep dive. I like that. You know what I mean? I like that. All right, Carita, we're about to end this stream. Before we end the stream, let folks know how they can catch your content, catch you on social media, catch how they can like look at your other platform, which is Double Take Sports. Tell people about everything.
Yes, so you can find me on social media at Carita C. Parks. I post all of my content on X, and then you can also catch my Ravens content in particular on Bowie TV Sports at Bowie TV Sports. And I'm also the owner and founder of Double Take Sports, where we cover NBA, WNBA, and more. So be sure to follow us at DBL Take Sports.
All right, man. This has been dope. Hey, I appreciate all of you who chimed in this chat.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Definitely. Hey, don't forget, this is the most important thing because it's real free to do this because I don't really ask for a lot of things in life. Hit the like button. Just hit the like button on both platforms. That's all I can. It's free. It's free. It's very simple. Subscribe to. Like all of this is free. It's like the free is like the best 4-letter word ever. You know what I mean? So just do that. Like hit like just it's free. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It's that simple. It literally takes about a second. Literally, like a second. Woo. So go for it. Thank you. Look, my mom told me always to claim things in life. I'm claiming it. Thank you for the subscription. Or I appreciate you. All right, anyway, folks, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene. For Aegis, you dig? Deuces. We are out. Peace.